Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. I apologize that it has been over a week since I have posted a new video. We had a lot going on over between Christmas, all the festivities, and then we all ended up with COVID that started Christmas Day. So we were, dealing with that. So luckily we were, none of us got really bad. But so yeah, haven't had time to make another video, but I do now. Things are leveling back out. So I'm just going to do a quick update, kind of show if there's anything new going on. Got some turnips coming in. I've been slowly and gradually thinning out these sprouts. Need to do a little bit more. I just do it a little bit at a time. So I've got those coming in. These tomato plants are all starting to ripen. You can see some there starting to ripen. So, and just when I think that my pumpkin vines are done for, they've given it up, I keep getting more pumpkins, and they keep growing on. That's what's so interesting about these the Seminole pumpkins, is as they continuously put roots down, they'll just continue to live. I'm afraid that my blackberries aren't doing so well. I don't really know why. I don't know. If not, I'll have to buy some more. They didn't look all that great when I bought them, but I thought I could try to nurse them back to health, but they may have been a little too far gone. More pumpkins over here. Pumpkin growing under here. And a lot of that is thanks to bees, because I haven't been hand pollinating them. That one right there is just about ready to be harvested. I got a pretty big one the other day, but here's the chayote I planted. I had to tie it to this thing because it just wasn't wanting to grab on. Hopefully it will now. Hopefully it'll kind of recognize that it's attached to something and start climbing up. Of course, we just had a cold front come through, and it's chilly outside right now. I don't think it's going to get down to any frosty weather, but we'll see. If it does, that chayote's a goner. I planted that mulberry cutting right there. That's just the ever-bearing mulberry cutting. And I planted the Barbados cherry cutting right here. It was good to see when I planted them. I knew they had taken because they were continuing to grow, but it was good to see them when I planted them, to see the roots underneath when I pulled them out of their little containers. These tomatoes are doing pretty well. I'm trying to keep them better manicured because I don't want them sprawling everywhere. That may kind of cut the production some, but that's why you plant a bunch of them. So see, just when you think the pumpkin vine is dead or dying, look, here it goes. And that section looks really good. That's a male flower there, but a big flower, and then there's a pumpkin right there. And I haven't pollinated any of these. So, and I thought that my blueberry bushes were goners, but they're starting to send out new growth at the bottom. They're growing some more. So there's a pumpkin there. I just come out here and find pumpkins. Hopefully it's already starting to bloom. It looks like it's going to start sprouting from here again, so maybe they'll be okay. But hopefully we'll get some blueberries. My blueberry in the container that I have yet to plant out here is also having new growth come out, so hopefully I'm figuring out how to keep them alive. So the snake beans are finished. There's some still hanging on there. I might pull them off. I had a bunch that I pulled off, and I was just letting them sit outside and dry. But I cut them because they were pretty much, maybe the tops were still a little bit alive, but I cut the bottom because they were dying, and they had just ran excuse me, run their course. I think I'm not going to put them on these cattle panels anymore, or the remesh. I feel like they did better when I put them on those beam teepees that I did. I don't know why. I don't know if the metal got too hot. I don't know. I don't know if they didn't like rust. I don't know what it was. But I come out here every day, and every day something has dug right there in that same spot underneath this strawberry tree. Every single day. I don't know what it is. I'm assuming it is a armadillo digging around. I don't know what they like about that one spot under this one tree. But yeah, so here, showing you what I've done to these moringa. You're really supposed to cover it all the way up, but I didn't. I could, but I just didn't. This is just chicken wire that I had. It's not really chicken wire, because chicken wire is a lot, the holes are a lot, there's like little squares. This is too big, so it doesn't hold these leaves in as well. You can see they kind of come out the bottom, but but anyways, this is to protect. We haven't had any freezing weather, but I just went ahead and did this because the trees were going dormant, so I cut them here to save the trunk, and then you put the leaves around them like that. I saw David the Good do that, and he talked about saving the trunk and how that actually helps with making a thicker, stronger tree, and that's what I want. So right here I planted that Sumo Citrus, and if that grows, that will be a miracle, and it will be fantastic, because Sumo Citrus, if you've never tried it, is really, really, really good. Side note real quick, I ran over my tangerine tree with the lawnmower the other day, but I'm leaving it planted because I see possibly little sprouts popping out again, so we'll see if it recovers. But anyways, Sumo Citrus is a citrus that was invented in Japan, I believe, and they call it a Sumo Citrus because the stem at the top has this little, almost looks like a top knot that a sumo wrestler wears. And there's my dragon fruit that I had to rescue because something, this thing fell over and pulled it up, so hopefully it'll survive. But the Sumo Citrus is bred to only be able to be grown and sold and everything from this one like company or whatever in Japan, and they are supposed to be bred to not have any seeds, and they're very, very good citrus. They almost remind me of, like, flavor wise, they almost remind me of a cross between tangerine and an orange. They're very good. But we ate one, and they only come around like a certain time of year. So we got one year, and it just so happened to have a seed in it. So we kept it, planted it. If it even grows, I don't know if it'll grow very well. If it does, it may produce the nastiest fruit. I don't know. I have no idea. Looks like something came and laid down right here, because that's like all smashed down, and I didn't do that. My poor pomegranate. It limps along, but that's all it does. But so I mean, it would be great if we get fruit off of it, and if we do get fruit off of it, hopefully it'll taste good. If it doesn't, well, we tried. So, but over here, since this cherry laurel has lost all of its leaves, you can see just how high and how much of the tree this yam has crawled on. I mean, it's way up there. That's almost the top of the tree, and it's growing on both sides. But the leaves, you can see, are starting to die. So usually it'll completely die back. Once it dies back, then I'll come in and dig it up, and we'll have some yam, because this is year 2, so it should be a bigger size. And I'll save, I'll dig it up, we'll eat most of it. I'll save 1 or 2 little chunks of it, then you dip it in ash to protect it, and then I'll plant it again, and we'll have more yam. Now you can just leave it. You can leave a yam as long as you want. You can leave it and it'll start to grow again. And the yam will get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. But I'm not too worried about it being, I'm not going for a world record yam or anything. So we'll probably harvest it, at least one, because I have 2. I have one growing over here. But we'll probably harvest at least one, see what it looks like. If it's not that big, and we can't really get anything, food-wise out of it, like it's too small, then I might just put it back in the ground and let it go again, and it'll continue to grow. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I hope we can get some, because they're really, really good. But over here, I've got a yam. You can see, obviously, there's the passion fruit. There's the yam. You can see it growing up into the tree. It's all the way up there. It's all the way over there. It's just they take over, but they die back. They die back in the winter. So I will check at least one of them, and then if, like I said, they're a big enough size to eat, cut a couple chunks off, keep them, and replant them, and they will grow back in the spring. You cannot, to my knowledge, you cannot leave them out of the ground. It's, you can't cut a couple chunks off and wait until spring comes to plant them, because they will rot. You have to cut them and immediately cover them in. Sorry, I heard a noise. You have to cut them. You roll them in ash to protect them from pests and whatnot, and then you plant them again, and they will stay. Oh, excuse me. They will stay in the ground and wait for the weather to warm up, and then when it warms up, they'll sprout up again and start climbing again. They're a fairly effortless plant. Vanilla is doing all right. Something kind of dug at this one and it made me mad, but I think it'll be okay. It's still going over here. This one over here has not reached the tree yet, but it's almost there. You can see it's almost there. But I've watched it from here go all the way. So I know it's growing. But that's about it. Not a whole bunch going on. It's not really, the time of year for a whole bunch to be going on. I do have, and I forgot to show you, but I do have some rutabaga sprouts. We'll see if those turn into anything. Turnips grow a lot faster. Rutabagas take a while. I don't know if they like the cold or not. Turnips don't mind the cold. So that's why I went ahead and planted them. They'll be fine. If it was to freeze, I can always cover them. But I don't know when. I really don't know when we're going to have a freeze. But yeah, that's about it. And there's some, I'll show you here, my blueberry up at the front. You can see it putting out the new growth there. So there's that kit mango. I need to plant that, and that is a Hamlin orange. I need to plant both of those because they're starting to outgrow their containers. And this is that, sorry about that, this is that lettuce that I planted. I'm letting it go to seed, so here it's starting to bolt. At this point, it would probably be really bitter, so you wouldn't want to eat it. Once they bolt, it kind of goes bitter. But I figured I'll just let it, I was going to just pull it out, but I'm like, well, I'll let it try to go to seed and keep some seeds and have some more remain. So that's about it. Like I said, sorry for the the break in videos, but hopefully everything will be back to normal now. And I appreciate everybody watching, and until next time, take care.